And we are following breaking news at the top of the hour. A federal judge has dismissed the 2-count criminal indictment against former FBI Director James Comey, also Letitia James, the former AG, or AG I should say, current AG in New York. I'm Scripps News Andrew Rafferty. You are watching On the Scene. Congressional correspondent Nate Reed joins me now live for more on this. Nate, what can you tell us?
Well, Andrew, I mean, if you look at these two dismissals, these two orders granting motions, basically the same motion was made in both cases, one in Norfolk, Virginia, one in Alexandria, Virginia. The motions were from Tish James and James Comey, respectively. And in these motions, they basically said that Lindsay Halligan, the U.S. attorney for the District of Eastern District of Virginia, was unlawfully appointed, that she was not put into that position under what is constitutionally allowed, under what the law, letter of the law states. Ultimately, the judge in both of these cases agreeing with the motions from the defendant in both cases, saying, why, yes, that is correct. She was not lawfully appointed. There was a 120-day clock by which they had appointed a U.S. attorney. The DOJ had appointed a U.S. attorney. Pam Bondi appointed one. That clock ran out on the 21st of May. Ultimately, it is the decision then of the federal court, the local federal court in these districts, about whether that U.S. attorney is able to remain on. It's done in some cases by a private vote of the judges from that court, whether that attorney can remain on or whether they have to be booted and they have to replace the U.S. attorney. So in this case, Pam Bondi replaced a non-Senate confirmed U.S. attorney. That means that that 120-day clock, which is what argued in both of these cases, that 120-day clock had still expired. It was up to the judges in those two jurisdictions to appoint an interim U.S. attorney. Yeah. Ultimately, the White House did not move in that direction. President Trump had those well-publicized posts on Truth Social calling on Pam Bondi, the Attorney General. It later came out those were meant to be DMs on Truth Social, calling on Pam Bondi to both prosecute Adam Schiff, Tish James, Letitia James, and James Comey, the former FBI director. Ultimately, of those three, just Letitia James and James Comey have been prosecuted so far. And ultimately, in both of these cases, which both of them deny the charges levied against them, these cases have effectively been dismissed for now. Now, both of these were dismissed without prejudice. And what that means is that the government could come again once a new U.S. attorney is lawfully appointed and try these charges. Now, there is a 6-month window, according to the Congressional Research Service, for them to do so. So even though the statute of limitations, at least in the Comey case, has theoretically run out, the crime that they're trying him for, that they've missed the window, so to speak, there is a 6-month extension effectively for the court to try and refile these charges. And I think the big question now is whether they're willing to do so. There's also a very good chance that the Department of Justice is going to appeal both of these decisions. I mean, there's a very real chance that we could see this go all the way up to the Supreme Court. And that has pretty much exhausted my knowledge of these two opinions, which were just handed down in the last couple of moments.
Yeah, and so key takeaways there are that, yes, this is paused for now, but yes, it is not necessarily paused forever. We could see some more action, and we are anxiously tracking any response from the White House, which we expect will be coming later this afternoon.
And President Trump has, his eye on both of these cases. Again, he has publicly urged for both of these two, both Letitia James, who prosecuted him as New York's Attorney General, and of course, James Comey, who the FBI director who ran afoul of Trump during his first administration over the Russia election interference investigation. In both these cases, President Trump does not like both of these people. Certainly, we're going to likely to see a response from the White House.
Yeah. All right, Nate Reed, our congressional correspondent. We are going to check back in with you as you continue to go through these documents. Nate, thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.